But as of now, we are recording tonight's concert, which means that all that cool intro stuff will be lost on the recording. So let me show this one more time. There you go, in case we missed that earlier. Please join me in welcoming my favorite singer-songwriter on the planet and the hand's best friend, Miss Kat Eggleston, who is joining us live and direct.
There we go.
From the bookstore in the lovely, beautiful downtown Vashon, Washington. Good evening, my dear. How the heck are you?
I can't hear you.
Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. I am not muted.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. You're
Good.
not
You
very
can.
loud, but I can hear you.
I'm glad you can.
Well, thank you.
I can hear absolutely nothing.
Well, how good are you at lip reading? Can you read lips? Can you?
No, I don't.
Oh. Can
Maybe Diane can call me. You can hear me, right?
Wait, I'm calling her. Okay. That's right. I can call you right here. I can call you.
This is nuts. All right.
It's not nuts. This is the treehouse. You know what this is, Kat? This is casual. Now she can't hear me, but it is casual.
Hi.
I'm calling her. Hi. It's not on the event page. It's on my Facebook page. He needs to go to my Facebook page, not the event. It's got nothing. It's not connected to the event.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you need to have your internal speaker be your output sound, and the USB interface as the input sound. Right? You get what I'm saying?
It is.
Okay.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Oh, just hang up on me then. Fine, be that way.
Just.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to live, internet stuff. I was going to say live TV, but this isn't really TV, is it? What is this?
And for some reason, I'm also getting a real kind of echo here.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
Is that better?
That is absolutely splendiferous.
I'm still getting the echo.
Go ahead. Since you are opening the show tonight as my favorite singer-songwriter ever, and probably one of Diane's favorites next to me, I wanted you to open up tonight. Okay?
There is the strangest delay going on, but hey, Bill, thank you for doing this. All right. How's that? Better? Thank you. And thank you for anybody who's stuck around. See one more spring, I'll go where the rock and the waters sing so, and the river runs clear. When I was young, that's what I'd say. Just one step, I'll be on my way to go where the river runs clear. Where I'm from, can't see the sky. It was a boom town once, but the price was high. The streams were black, the hills were bare, so I turned my back when I was grown on what was left of my first home to go where the river runs clear. Far from any town, found new roots to settle down and stayed for one green year. But power kills, money talks, wells were drilled to split the rocks and half our hills just disappeared. Splintered world was going fast, all for the sake of oil and gas. The water crawled and it turned to fire. Call it treasure, call it king, your oil's not worth the goddamn thing when none of the rivers run clear. Guess I could be moving on, but no place will be safe for long. The wells, they're everywhere, and all I love is almost gone, so I can't bring myself to run. I'm gonna stay right here. Turn your back as Eden falls, to no tree stands and no bird calls, and how the world lives in fear. To stand and fight, to work like hell, to turn this tide, till all of the rivers run clear. Thank you.
Yay! Yeah, I'm sorry for the delay and stuff like that. I don't know. But can you hear me now?
Can't really. I haven't figured that part out. Let's see. Hold on.
Welcome to the Treehouse, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, from Vashon Island and North Seattle, also known as Shoreline, Washington. I was going to start with a real stomper, but then I thought, you know what? I should save the stomper, you know. Go with something that's, you know, a little bit, more current. This is the song I wrote earlier during the isolation time. And it was written for Diane, so I thought it was appropriate to open with. It's called Couple's Hymn.
One of them said, staring through half-open blinds, none of what's sacred's been spread over the dead, echoes in an unsettled mind. Isolation is a cavity, isolation with its gravity. I know I've seen about as much of me as anyone can take. That's how I know that you and I are no mistake. No mistake. We never knew that fear could feel like this, equal parts bliss and lists of the recently gone. And what about that vinegar and piss we don't really miss with each irreplaceable dawn? Isolation is a cavity, isolation with its gravity. I know you've seen about as much of me as anyone can take. That's how I know that you and I are no mistake. No mistake. No mistake.
There you go, folks. There you go. There you go, people. Yeah. We're just waiting for Kat to catch up.
Sorry about that.
Not a problem. All is well.
I'm still getting that echo
Too
thing.
many buttons.
I was trying to
Too
figure
many
it
buttons
out.
to push. You're still muted, Kat.
But that was... Sorry about that. But that was
Not a
great.
problem. I'm hearing your audio coming back through.
I'm still getting that echo thing.
Too many buttons.
I was trying to figure it out.
Too many buttons to push.
So...
You're still muted, Kat.
Yeah. But that was... Sorry about that. But that was great.
I'm hearing your audio coming back through.
I'm still getting that echo.
Too many buttons.
Yes. Trying to figure it out.
Have you got your Facebook page open behind the Zoom screen? Because I bet that's the audio we're getting.
That's it.
Yeah.
How's that?
Wow. 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 Look at us learn. This is a teachable moment, a learning experience.
Thank you for using the word us. Look at us.
Hey, it has been months and months since I've used Zoom for one of these. It was when Heidi and Bob Webb and I did one. Heidi Muller and Bob Webb, which was back in April.
Big delay, so it's like you're talking across each other.
Yeah, I think we just fixed it.
It's fixed, John. Thank you, sir.
John, my beloved spouse.
He's the guy.
He told me a little while ago that people were on the event page and they might not be able to find their way into this room. But did they find their way?
People have done this different ways. I have never done a Treehouse concert through an event page. It's always just been on my regular Facebook page. That's how I've always done these things. I know that there is a way to link to a video through an event notification, but everything in the event notification gave my email, my Facebook page as the coordinate, the location for the event.
Okay, good.
So, you know.
Well, it's nice to be here, and I'm really glad that that sound thing was fixed. And my God, that was beautiful. Your song was beautiful. Well, you know what? I'm going to play a love song. I'm going to play one that Diane requested, as a matter of fact, and I hardly ever play this one anymore. I'm not sure why. Songs go in and out of rotation, you know? And here's where it belongs. I think I'm going to start it in a little bit of a different way. Or maybe I'll end it with that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, I've been thinking about this song a lot lately. I think partly because considering how much vitriol is out there and just how much fear and hatred and poison and crap like that, I think this is still the only answer and the only word. So this is the song that Diane requested, and I'm going to just play it for the world at large at this moment. Young I was once, yes, so were you. So, start this again, sorry. Young I was once, yes, so were you. Blood was hot, mistakes were made, yes, you made them too. The long fall the leap of faith, the silent call, the open gate. Love the prize, love the bait. Yes, you know it's true. And if I were broken, I would live the same. Done the work I've done. When I've done it well, it grew from passion sharp and strong, or not at all. The effort spent, the taken time, the back bent and the finish line. Love the root and love the vine, or it will surely fall. And if I quit the race, who would be to blame? Time and time again I've heard love's the most dangerous word. But all I know comes to this: love's the only word there is. Gone, the time that's gone. If I have a single prayer, oh Lord, I hope I have wasted none. I have none to spare. The easy laugh, the crushing loss, the heavy hand and the gentle touch, all 1,000 times too much for this brief life to bear. And if I slept through it, who would be to blame? One, I am one, yes. So are you, so we will end as we've begun, yes. You know it's true. So when it comes to looking back on what I've done with what I had, only love could bridge the gap that lies between us two. And then my last breath would be your name. Time and time again I've heard love's the most dangerous word. But all I know, it comes to this: love's the only word there is. All I know comes to this: love.
Yay.
Oh.
Yay. Nicely done, madam.
I love Tuesdays. Tuesdays are magic things, you know?
Tuesdays are magic things.
They
are
were
magic
back in the
things.
80s when we all,
Yeah.
well, you and I kind of met in college, but
Right.
only sorta, because we were
Right.
kind of, like that.
We were kind of crossing paths at Whitworth College in Spokane, but I don't know that we spoke or had coffee or anything like that, but you were known to me on campus. So you
Back
had
at you.
you had this
that-
kind of legendary quality to you even back then. So.
I thought that was you.
No. Oh, excuse me. We have the hand.
The
I
hat.
mean, you got to work them flourishes on screen. There you go. Now you're talking. Whoa. Hey, look. Wait. Oh, thank you. The hand always smells so lovely on Tuesdays. Sorry. Everyone understood about the technology problems. We all have the problems. How many of the people in the audience right now are using Zoom for various things in their lives? And there's always something. Did I push did I get where's the gizmo? The thing that we had there's all kinds of that kind of stuff going on all the time.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Good to
Tears flowing from many of us for the only word. Diane's brother Gary says, love is the only word to describe what his heart is feeling right now. Charlotte Hubbard and Henry. Do you know Henry and Charlotte?
Yeah.
Okay. They have a request. They'd like to hear shit. Just a thing. For later. Something to keep in mind,
Huh.
Yeah. Stefan's here too. Dave Fernald is here. Janice Carper's in the house. Janice, keep getting better.
Yay!
My
Janet,
daughter.
I love you.
Yes, we do indeed. My daughter Alice and my mom and my sister are in the house. As I mentioned, Diane's brother Gary and Mary are in the house. Tim and Demetra are in the house. Bill Woolham, old Whitworth College guy, is in the house. Val Sanford of Whitworth College is in the house. Heidi Muller and Bob Webb are in the house.
Oh my God.
Yes. And from just down the street, Holly Tuttle and Kim Nelson are in the house.
Yeah, they're right down the street.
Yeah.
I can almost see them from where I am.
Really?
No.
Can you wave at them? Maybe they could wave. Okay. Katrina Knight is in the house from all back in Reading, Pennsylvania. No. Yeah, Pennsylvania. Kendra Shank is in the house. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Kendra. Aren't you in New York? Aren't you on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, that's... So, yay. You see, Tuesday nights, they get weird. They get special. Without even doing anything. We're just sitting around, playing a couple of songs, having some, enjoying some mystery beverage. You got a mystery beverage?
I do.
Oh, excellent. There you go. Not quite as mysterious as
Yeah, well, you know what?
one might imagine.
It could be Tab.
Well, that's true. It could be, but let's hope you haven't defiled that fine-looking little flask with.
Well, it's a mystery.
That's true. Well, I've got 3 cups here. They're all mystery beverages.
Although, do you remember you guys were at our wedding, mine and John's, and
Yeah.
one of the beverages that we had on that day
Ah,
is in this flask.
excellent.
Bottoms up, everybody.
Oh, yeah. That works. Hope John's got a flask, too.
I'm sharing this one with him.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to mute myself now so you can play.
All right. Well, I have a song that is a stretch for me. It's reaching back about 30 years or so. But Diane has always liked this song. So I thought, why not do some kind of strange, altered, but hopefully near to the original version of an old song of mine, which is called Electric. It's a deeply meaningful song, it's a kind of poetry-centric, and really justifies my the large expense of going to Whitworth for 4 years and getting that degree in literature and creative writing. Okay, here we go. I hear the beat, I feel the beat, but I'm still stifled by my limitations. See, this guitar, it's brought me far, but it can't handle every situation. Ooh, I wanna go electric. Ooh, it takes bread to go electric. Ooh, won't
you help me go electric and let me sing in your bar? But you say, I find my seat and watch my feet. They're always jumping 'cause they can't escape the beat. I look at my room, stare at the gloom. Some funky rhythm now would surely be a treat. Ooh, I wanna go electric. Ooh, it's somehow more eclectic. Ooh, won't you help me go electric and let me sing in your bar? It's a nice bar. Nice bar. I can play here. Maybe take us both far. Ooh, I wanna go electric. Ooh, where the music's much more hectic. Ooh, won't you help me go electric and let me sing in your bar? But you say, no way, Jack. You see the doorway. Come back some other day as someone else. Now ain't that just the way? I mean the way of the world. You assassinate a squirrel backing out of your driveway. And what will the Rabinowitzes say? Sometimes it just don't pay to start your day. Yes, a classic of our era. Electric. That was
I love that song.
For the Hand. Well, it's got some years on it. It seems well traveled. I think there's a couple of divots that needed to be replaced. But what are you going to do? It's a special night here in the treehouse. Yeah.
There were many days when that song still runs through my head.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there may be a medication you could take. I think there may be an outpatient program that could perhaps, be of assistance in a situation like that.
Harry Nilsson.
Harry Nilsson.
Yeah. The only, at least temporary cure I've ever found for a song you can't get out of your head. I wouldn't classify any of your songs as said earworms because they're really much too pleasant for that, and I like you too much.
No.
But if a song needs to get out of your head,
yeah,
virtually any song that Nilsson sang, with the exception maybe of Coconut, but everything else, it goes through your head, it gets all of that out of there, and then it goes away.
Yeah. It's like Cranial Drano. Cranial Drano. Colorado Rooter. Okay, never mind.
Cranial Drano should be another song.
I'm going to clear the area so that you can proceed.
All right.
All right.
Well, I've decided. So I got into standard tuning, which is not the usual place where I am. So I don't live in standard tuning. I live in dadgad tuning. If you'd like to know what that is, you can always send me a message later, and I can tell you. Well, it's dadgad, D-A-D-G-A-D. That's where I was for the last song. This one, though, is in standard, and I wrote it for one of my students. I've been teaching for a long, long, long time now, and my students teach me every bit as much as I teach them. I'm hoping some of them are present at the moment. I know some of them were intending to come. So one of them is James McCracken. Now, James is 18 years old now. He has autism, and I've been playing music with James since he was 12. And so I know I've taught him a bunch of things. I know he's taught me every bit as much, and probably way more, considering the fact that we communicate around corners. James doesn't talk to others. We don't carry on a conversation along the usual lines that you would. He likes to, if he wants something, he'll tell you, but he also likes to repeat things. And if he loves something, he's going to say it over and over and over again. And you just go there with him, and it's actually pretty wonderful. In a way, if you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, James is a little bit like Groot, because he'll say something many, many times, and the meanings are different. So, I love that kid. He loves trains, he loves elevators, he loves telephones. And so this is called James Loves Trains. I wrote this for him, and I played it once at the very beginning of the pandemic on a show here on Vashon. So James is a real person. You're about to meet him now. James loves trains and cowgirls too. He knows all the songs and he'll sing them for you. If you ask him what he thinks about, the answer is always the same. It's James Loves Trains. James hates the rain and the Patriots too. He'll tell you again and again and again and again and again, yeah, it's true. But if I ask him if he's scared or blue, he'll always say the same. James loves trains. And my friend James, he can play and sing his guitar like a pro. If he cared about such things, he could be a star, I know. I really think so. Try to explain his words, but I know there's no lie, not one cruel word. So if you ask me what is good and true, is the same. It's James Loves Trains.
Yay! Nice work.
Well, I would like everybody to meet James. I wish he was here. Also, by the way,
Yeah.
I should at this point introduce you to this bookstore.
Oh.
You know, because
Wow. It's an
This
impressive place. I've been there, people. I've actually been there.
it's amazing. It's amazing. This is my favorite bookstore. Wow. Here's the card section right behind me, and here, many, many wonderful things. My favorite bookstore ever, and it's right here on Vashon. So I went away from the mic. Sorry about that. But
That's all right.
my
Sounded great.
whole idea here is to do a show a month from one of the Vashon businesses, just to show how great they are. And bookshop.org is, I think that I'm hoping that I remember that right, but bookshop.org is the website. It's kind of a clearinghouse. It just sprung into being. Some people brought it into being right at the time of the shutdown, and it's kind of a clearinghouse. So kind of like a co-op, I guess. So different independent bookstores get online on bookshop.org. You can order from your local bookshop. They get a cut. It's all easy to handle, and you don't have to go through, Amazon.
You know, Bill Woolham, who's in the house tonight, bought a book from that bookshop. He lives in Kellogg, Idaho, but he bought a book from the Vashon bookshop online just the other day.
Excellent.
Yeah. If I could open my flip phone, I could even tell you what the title of the book was. But if you look in the comments, maybe Bill will put the name of the book in the comments.
That would be. I will look at the comments when I go on Facebook again.
Yeah, right.
Which is not right now.
No. Yeah, for those of you watching on Facebook, neither Kat or I can see any of the comments coming through because Facebook's about 20 seconds behind us, and that can be confusing.
As it was deeply confusing to me and to several other people
Right.
at the beginning. It was.
There you go. I believe we have a bulletin from the hand. The hand is making its way, into the studio once again.
And Ragnar is in the house.
Ragnar's in the house?
Yes.
Ragnar's in the house.
Ragnar is in the house.
Guard your valuables. Because I think Holly and Kim are training Ragnar to be,
Be relaxed, maybe.
to be a casual pickpocket is what I think. I think it guard your valuables, yeah.
Anybody could do it.
Message from the hand. There are currently 69 people here, Catherine.
Oh my God.
The hand is having a hard time keeping up with the comments, but lots of love bubbles being popped for both of us all the time. We can't see into the love bubbles. Now, if we could see a few of the love bubbles, we'd probably be, feeling a lot more secure within ourselves, Now, I promised Cindy Snyder that I wouldn't make the usual joke about the story that goes with this song. But I have to tell the story, Cindy. Cindy's heard it many, many times at the C&P Coffee Company, at the Couth Buzzard Bookstore, at Grumpy D's. She may have even heard it up at Tim Noah's Thumbnail Theater. She may have even heard it at the Antique Sandwich down in Tacoma. All of these analog venues where folks like Catherine and myself played back in the before times. But this is a story from way farther back in the before times. This is the story of how Diane and I got together when we were both about 50 years old. I had known Diane back in the 80s. And Kat I had known back in the 80s as part of Victory Music. Every Tuesday night at the Antique Sandwich Company in Ruston in Tacoma, there would be the Victory Music open mic. That is still going on. In fact, it's happening as we speak. And they have a virtual open mic that they do on Tuesday nights now. And Diane and Kat and I were all part of the regular Tuesday night crowd, and it was probably one of the most dazzling and wonderful and creatively just, you know, creatively, what was that word? I had a perfect word for it and then it fell out of my head. Kat, you probably have it. What's that word I was looking for?
I have no idea. I would call it a crucible.
Yes, it was a crucible of
don't know.
creativity.
I've never really run into anything quite like it.
Right. It was an artesian well of amazing creativity, having to do not only just with songwriters, although the songwriters were just like stellar. Each and every week at the open mic, we had a huge crowd there, and not just songwriters. A lot of times you go to an open mic and it's mostly the people who want to play that are in the crowd, but at the Antique, no, there was a dedicated following for the open mic all unto itself. And so there were traditional players, there Copperfield, and there was just too many stellar artists to mention.
Linda
Some of
Waterfall,
whom,
for instance.
Linda Waterfall. Yeah.
Jim Page and you.
Jim Page, Klaus Lindsay, and a lot of folks who are no longer with us. Eric Eshelman, Mark Spital was used to hang out down there. It was a great group of people, and many of them are gone now, and we miss them dearly. But Diane and Diane ran the door at the open mic, and she and I served on the Victory Music Board of Directors for a while together. And then I had not seen Diane for probably 15 years, when sometime in the summer of 2006, late summer of 2006, I got an email from Diane Schulstad inviting me to her 50th birthday party. For her 50th birthday, she was going to have an open mic at the Antique Sandwich Company. Chris Lunn, the founder of Victory Music, was going to be emceeing like he always did on those Tuesday nights, and she was inviting some of her favorite players from back in the day to come and play at this birthday celebration / open mic. And if Kat hadn't been hospitalized, she would have been there, but she was resting comfortably and got to hear about it later. But I was there, and Jim Hind was there, and Jim Page was there, and John McClure was there, and who else? Just too many people to even remember right now. I'm seeing one in my head, and I've lost his name, but they were all there. And it was like seeing all our old friends again. Neil Woodall was there. And we got to see all the old Tuesday night people. And it was Diane's birthday, but but everybody got the gift. The gift was everybody being together. And that was a night that changed my life. I had been doing radio since '99 because I had young kids and they were growing up, and the older they got, the more expensive it got. You know how it is when you're raising up kids. So I needed a regular job. I got lucky enough to get into broadcasting. I worked first at the KVLR and Twisp, Kevlar, Bulletproof Radio. Then I worked at KOZI Radio Lake Chelan, and did that for 6-7 years. A great period of my life, but not doing a lot of music. So I get this email from Diane. I go to this party. I see all these amazing people. I see Diane, who was just beaming. She was like, she was glowing, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot how this woman glows. By the time I left the building that night, I was fully crushing on Diane Schulstad. And I went back to my little double wide in Twisp, where I was living with my kids, and was like, what am I going to do with this feeling I have for this Diane Schulstad person who I have got to hang out with? So I did the romantic thing. I typed her a letter on a typewriter, one of my typewriters, and that seemed to work. We started a correspondence, mostly by email after the initial letter, but I wasn't telling her how I felt. I was just getting to know her, being her friend. I didn't know that much about her. We got to know each other. We were just communicating with nobody I'd ever communicated with was at this, and I said everything I would ever have wanted to say to somebody, and it was like I didn't have any limits, except I couldn't tell her how I actually felt about her, because I had yet to have a successful relationship and long term, and I just did not want any more wreckage of that kind in my life, So it finally got to the point where I had nothing left to say, except the thing that had been sitting right squarely in front of me the whole time we'd been corresponding. So I did the heroic thing. I did the I did the heroic thing. I stopped writing to her altogether. Just kind of stopped. This was only after a couple of months after her birthday gathering. Then a year and a half went by. A year and a half in which I was, trying to be in relationships and not really finding anybody that resonated like that. And one day, a year and a half later, it was actually March the 7th, 2008, I got another email from Diane Schulstad, and it said something like this. It said, "Dear Bill, I have just awoken from a most delicious dream, and it was of you. Now I'm going back to sleep. Love, Diane." It was time-stamped like 1:35 a.m. And I was like, I had no idea I just gotten up in the morning and there this thing was, and I was just like, So I went to work. I said, if it's still there in my inbox when I come home, then I'll do something. So I went to work, came home later. It was still there. It was still in my inbox. It still said exactly the same thing. The word delicious was just kicking me. I was just like, it's a great word. It's a great word. And so I decided to sleep on it. I said, tomorrow I'll deal with this tomorrow morning, because I couldn't think of anything. I didn't know that it would be okay to say everything that I had not said before. Basically start the entire conversation over, because I thought she's going to think I'm a nuthead because I didn't say anything a year and a half ago. So I went to bed, got up the next morning, looked at it. It was still there. The same email was there. So I forwarded it to myself at work. I said, okay, I'll deal with this at work. I'll have a clearer head at work. I'll deal with it there. So I finally wrote back to her, really unlocked my inner literature major and said something like, "Delicious, huh? Good word. Oh, you've probably forgotten the dream by now. Bummer, Bill." And I sent that off. Figured that'll do it. That'll get her out of my life again. But it didn't. She actually wrote back and she told me about the dream that she had had, and it was an amazing dream. Sometime when you see Diane, you should ask her about it. It's an amazing dream. And suddenly everything I just couldn't take it. I said everything, and within 2 weeks we were engaged to be married, having never really held hands or anything. It was a mortal lock. It was the most solid kind of, it's like two train cars going, yeah, once there's no, you can't, yeah. So, and it's been that way ever since. So the song is about the year and a half and about the day and a half where everything could have been otherwise. Okay? The song is called "How Long Are You Gonna Wait?" For the perfect moment, a time when she least expects it. You're gonna finally tell her how you really feel. How long you gonna wait for the right word? How long you gonna wait for the right time? Gonna starve while you're waiting on the harvest moon. How long you gonna wait? Waiting for the ride that might not come. Waiting for the day you don't feel dumb. Waiting in the rain is fine for some. How long you gonna wait? You wait until you think she's ready. You're waiting till the market's steady. You're waiting till the kids are out of school. You're waiting till you get a haircut. You're waiting till you lose that 10 pounds. You're waiting till you deal with all of your shit. How long you gonna wait? How long you gonna wait for the right word? How long you gonna wait for the right time? Gonna starve while you're waiting on the harvest moon. How long you gonna waiting for the ride that might not come? Waiting for the day you don't feel dumb. Waiting in the rain is fine for some. How long you gonna wait?
How long you gonna wait? You're waiting for the next reunion, though they happen only once every 10 years. Still you never want to feel that you spoke too soon. How long you gonna? You're waiting for the hip replacement, and when you're done with the physical therapy, and you can finally walk without that cane. How long you gonna wait? How long you gonna wait for the right word? How long you gonna wait for the right time? Gonna starve while you're waiting on the harvest moon. How long you gonna waiting for the ride that might not come? Waiting for the day you don't feel dumb. Waiting in the rain is fine for some. How long you gonna? You're waiting for the perfect moment, a time when she least expects it. You're gonna finally tell her how you really feel. How long you gonna wait? How long you gonna wait?
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
I so love that song.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It's a good one. I got lucky with that one. Got lucky with that one.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
runs through my head a lot too.
I know.
Bill, I have a technical question for you from my beloved spouse.
All right, then. Be happy to answer a question for John.
He has not been able to watch it on the Book of the Face.
Right. Why?
I don't know. He said there was something screwy with the video, and I'm not sure what that would be.
Well, if there were any trouble with the feed, I would probably have heard something from the hand. So I can only imagine that it is a local problem.
Perhaps
If
it is.
If it's freezing, if it's stuttering, if it's falling away, these kinds of issues have come up prior, but I have never. I'm usually, because she's also watching it in the other room, and so if there was any problem on the Book of the Face, we would have been notified.
Apparently, it just came up.
Oh,
Sometimes that's all you need to do is just, start talking about stuff.
well,
You know?
sometimes that happens, and I tell people if they lose the feed, if they refresh the page and hit the play button again, a lot of times that'll do it. There's all kinds of little tricks that you got to learn when you're doing this Facebook Live thing and when you're watching it. Because I watch, 4, 5, 6 live streams a week, and stuff like that happens to people like Ellis Paul all the time. All of a sudden, you gotta back out of the close-up view and
feel better,
and reload the page and hit play again, and that kind of
We're
stuff.
good. If it even happens to Ellis, then it can happen to anybody.
See?
And it also could just be, a connectivity issue, because this is a different business that last time I did one of these, it was across the hall at Kronos where I
There you go.
worked before the shutdown.
Right.
Different internet and stuff.
Yep.
Well, so let's see. So I wrote a play a few years ago, and we're scheduled to do it again. COVID willing, if the planet doesn't explode in one way or another beforehand. So at the Whidbey Island Arts Center on, I think, March 13th of next year. So keep that in mind. The play is called The Cyclone Line. It's a story of the Dust Bowl and a story about dementia. It's a story about my dad. So I wrote songs from Dad's Dust Bowl stories of his childhood for, years and years and years and years and years. And then moved back here to Vashon from Chicago to take care of Dad when he got older and he needed more help. And I discovered kind of firsthand what I'd always heard was true, which is that as we get older, and especially when somebody is having issues with dementia, their childhood is what they remember the most, and sometimes it was right in his face and still talking to him. And it was pretty drastic. There were a lot of beautiful moments in it, but it was stunning, and we did it to ourselves. We plowed up the prairie and planted wheat as a cash crop, and that the prairie grass could keep the dirt down. 6 feet down was where the root system went and interlocked. Wheat couldn't do that, and so the Dust Bowl happened. And on Black Sunday, which Dad was 12 years old and was right in the middle of in Oklahoma, about 300,000 tons of American topsoil went up in the air on one single day. And we just don't know enough about it. This was the song at the very end of the show. It's kind of a play with music where I play the songs that I wrote from Dad's stories. Well, at the end of Dad's life, I just didn't know what to do. And you don't say goodbye when you're dealing with someone with Alzheimer's. You're kind of always saying goodbye, and you kind of never do. But you never know who you're going to see the next time you see the person. So I had a dream, or back to the dream thing, but I had a dream one night where I saw it could only be one person. It had to be Johnny Cash. He was walking away from me in his long black coat, singing in that voice that nobody else had, to 4 or 5-year-old little boy. And in a way, I woke up thinking, I love that song. I wish I'd written, wait a minute, did I write that song? And I actually remembered almost all of it, and it's the one and only time that a song I remembered from a dream wasn't insane. But I feel like Johnny Cash got to say our goodbyes for us. So this is it. It's called The Days. Remember, he's singing this to a 4 or 5-year-old kid. Monday morning you were born, Tuesday you were walking, Wednesday you had learned to talk, you showed no signs of stopping. Thursday, Friday I looked up and you were off and running. Where you'll go from here, I guess there's just no way of knowing. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening. Where you are, the spring has come and all the world is blooming, but summer brings the burning sun before you know it's coming. And here I stand at harvest time, soon it will be snowing. When winter trees hold blackbird leaves, it's then I must be going. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening. Maybe you'll grow big and strong, and maybe you'll be lucky. I hope and pray your days are long and most of them are happy. And someday when you laugh or sing, or if you're sick or grieving, or when at last you're old like me, it's then you'll hear me singing. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening. Oh, the days they hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening.
That's got to be one of my all-time favorites.
Thank
And man, I can't wait to see the Cyclone line again. I think
you.
that play needs to be everywhere. It needs to be everywhere. So
Thank you.
hopefully
Thank
by
you.
March we will all be able to convene in on Whidbey and make it happen.
It's I also got lucky enough to work with Charlotte Tinkin, who's my director and agent for the play, and then my favorite actor that I know that I've ever worked with. Also, I worked with him in Chicago years ago, and now he lives here in Seattle. His name is Brian Gunter. Brian, if you're here, thank you again for that. There was a little boy in the audience who saw, he plays my dad from age 6 or so all the way through to the end of his life. And as dementia was setting in and he was getting older, just physically, you could just see it all happen. There was a boy in the audience who said to his mom, "Mom, something's happening to that guy." She said, "I think he's a good actor." And he said, "No, I think it's really happening right now."
Wow.
That tells you how great Brian is.
Yeah. Well, it's a great play. It's a great play.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see it again. Kat, it's time to institute one of the traditions here in the treehouse.
Oh, is it?
It is poetry break, poetry break, poetry break, poetry break. Don't try this at home. Don't use fireworks. No open flames in your treehouse. Okay. All right.
Excellent.
Yes. I have a few selections. Did you bring something, Catherine?
I did. I brought 2 things
Oh, good.
besides the mystery beverage.
Right, I got you. The mystery beverage that's not that mysterious. Well, I've got 3 things, so why don't I do one, you do one, I do one, you do one, I do one, and then you do a song.
Okay.
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 Well, I wanted to start with a poem that I wrote for the hand. I have a couple of poems that were hand-picked by the hand for this evening, but I wanted to do at least one poem that I have written for her. So this one is fairly recent and, it doesn't get too, doesn't get too, but still it's got that in it. It's called I Wish the Rain. I've read it before here in the treehouse, so don't even worry about it. I wish the rain to stay a few more hours until we've finished the shopping, until we're home again, putting plans for the week away in their cold and cupboard. I wish the rain to stay one more day, until after the doctor's appointment, where we'll discuss my failing hip and what science might offer to that pain in the corner. I wish the rain to stay 20 more years with my lover of long talks, 2 more decades of the beauty she arranges like a celebration of coming rain. Catherine?
Well, that was hardly fair. Now I'm all kind of choked up. I'm getting a visitor, though. I mean, I'm being kind of strafed. I think it was, there's a fly around here. I feel like I'm being visited by Mike Pence's little friend who was with him. All working?
I think it's the internet.
Yes. I would tell you those passwords again in a moment.
No.
This was a request from the hand. She asked if I would read the poem that's close to the end of the cyclone line. This is by Elsie Robinson. This was my dad's favorite, and kind of his motto as he went through life. He was an artist, you know.
Yes, he was.
And the poem is called Beauty as a Shield. I have to say, too, I don't know if Diane Grob is in the audience, and I'm not even sure if I pronounced her last name right. This wonderful painter who painted a painting called Beauty as a Shield Against Despair, and now it's hanging in our living room. It was inspired by the cyclone line, so I'm eternally grateful. So this is the poem that changed my dad's life. I will hold beauty as a shield against despair. When my heart faints, I will remember sights like these. Bronze cypresses that framed a sapphire sea, a desert mesa wrapped in sunset flame, an airplane that raced the overland above a trail still marked with whitening bones, a path through a dim forest hushed and sweet, lit by one amber beam that fell aslant, foam silver-laced along a curving wave, sprawled golden hills with shadows like spilled wine, tall office buildings rearing through the night, sheer walls of alabaster pierced with gold, and snowflakes falling on a lonely pine. When my heart faints, I will remember sights like these, holding their beauty as a shield against despair. For if I can see glory such as this with my dim eyes, my undeveloped brain, and if from other darkened, selfish lives such flashes of brave loneliness can come, then surely there is something more than this sad maze of pain, bewilderment, and fear. And if there's something, I can still hope on.
Wow. Who wrote that? What's her name?
Elsie Robinson. What's her name?
That's amazing.
It's kind of perfect for now.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Wow. Well, I've got two more to read. I'm not sure which one is the better one. There's one that Diane's father used to recite to her when she was going to bed at night. But then there's this other one. I think I may save the one from Ralph Schulstad until... And it's actually not written by Ralph. It's written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. But I think I'm going to read this one by Hermann Hesse first. Just to kind of trying to figure out how to springboard off that amazing poem that you just read, Kat. This is called Stages by Hermann Hesse. Diane wanted me to read this. It hangs on my wall right there, here in the palatial Vitamin Audio Studios. Stages. As every flower fades and as all youth departs, so life at every stage, so every virtue, so our grasp of truth blooms in its day and may not last forever. Since life may summon us at every age, be ready, heart, for parting, new endeavor. Be ready bravely and without remorse to find new light that old ties cannot give. In all beginnings dwells a magic force for guarding us and helping us to live. Serenely let us move to distant places and let no sentiments of home detain us. The cosmic spirit seeks not to restrain us, but lifts us stage by stage to wider spaces. If we accept a home of our own making, familiar habit makes for indolence. We must prepare for parting and leave-taking, or else remain the slaves of permanence. Even the hour of our death may send us speeding on to fresh and newer spaces, and life may summon us to newer races. So be it, heart. Bid farewell without end. Hermann Hesse.
Damn. Wow. You're going to have to send that one to me, if you would. Okay, guess what? This is a poem that was written by my husband, the magnificent John Daly. This is very early stuff, and I absolutely love it. And this one was written for his piping teacher, because he's a spectacular bagpipe player, and because he's not on the microphone, I can praise him to my heart's content, and he can't stop me. Because he's a marvelous piper. And it always feels like the music kind of takes you back all the way through centuries of culture. And so this is written for his piping teacher. It's just a short little poem that he wrote for John McClellan. And I love it. He was more a mood than a man. Undiscernible, felt rather than observed like heat. Hands on the table, he listened as I played the tune and viewed the hills from the window, as if from there the real hairy music came to him, shaking its horns and leaping snags. His chanter would hum like an ember beneath its sound as he played the tune back to me. The big cane reed inside shaking in its seat. He taught that music was more than a tone of voice. Its accent, the way his R's drummed like heavy barrels, the vowels, notes, raising the silence.
Yeah. I believe that deserves a Tim Swiger Memorial rereading, Catherine. Could we hear that one more time, please?
He was more a mood than a man, undiscernible, felt rather than observed, like heat. Hands on the table, he listened as I played the tune and viewed the hills from the window, as if from there the real hairy music came to him, shaking its horns and leaping snags. His chanter would hum like an ember beneath its sound as he played the tune back to me. The big cane reed inside, shaking in its seat. He taught that music was more than a tone of voice. Its accent, the way his R's drummed like heavy barrels, the vowels, notes raising the silence.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he got all of that one. Whew.
The real hairy music.
Thank you, John Daly, for that lovely bit of literature. So I'm going to finish off with the poem that Diane's father, Ralph Schulstad, used to read to Diane when he was putting her to bed at night. He would rub her back, and he would recite it. I think he knew it by heart. He didn't have to go to this book. Which is a book of some vintage, which Diane brought into our life. From Walnut Creek, California. It's got their names in it, and it's copyright 1929. The Cable Company, Chicago. There's no table of contents or index in this book. It just starts, it's like an anthology of poetry. And you just got to wander through it and see what you find. This is Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's The Children's Hour. Between the dark and the daylight, when the light is beginning to lower, comes a pause in the day's occupations that is known as the children's hour. I hear in the chamber above me the patter of little feet, the sound of a door that is opened, and voices soft and sweet. From my study I see in the lamplight, descending the broad, tall stair, grave Alice and laughing Allegra, and Edith with golden hair. A whisper and then a silence, yet I know by their merry eyes they are plotting and planning together to take me by surprise. A sudden rush from the stairway, a sudden raid from the hall. By 3 doors left unguarded they enter my castle wall. They climb up into my turret, or the arms and the back of my chair. If I try to escape, they surround me They seem to be everywhere. They almost devour me with kisses, their arms about me entwine, till I look like the Bishop of Bingen in his mouse tower on the Rhine. Do you think, O blue-eyed banditti, because you have scaled the wall, such an old mustache as I am is not a match for you all? I have you fast in my fortress, and will not let you depart, but put you down in the dungeon in the round tower of my heart. And there I will keep you forever, yes, forever and a day, till the walls shall crumble to ruin and moulder in dust away. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, The Children's Hour. Here endeth the reading.
I haven't thought about that poem in so long.
Neither had I, but I remember it not from that anthology, from some anthology that I read, maybe in high school. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
I think it was, for me, it was in the best loved poems of the American people.
I had that book too. So that was probably it. But I got that book in high school at B. Dalton's at Tacoma Mall. Remember how the poetry was in, like, back of the fiction section? There was like one shelf on the bottom, and it had like Robert Service, and it had Hugh Prather and Rod McEwen and Best Loved Poems of the American People.
That's a great book.
It is a great book.
Yeah. Okay, it's time for a musical thing, is it? I have, like I said, some of my students said that they were planning on tuning in. Let's hope they weren't discouraged by the first few moments of pain that I had. It wasn't you. It was definitely me. I have a student who is, she works in hospice a lot. She's a counselor who works in hospice. She's just a great person. I mean, so we talk about the subject of death and passing from time to time, and, you know, learn songs about that. And there's some terrific ones. And I always wanted to play this one for her. It's one of mine that this is another, now that I think about it, this came from another dream. And I used to always dream about everybody I loved who had passed away. Everybody. There's been a lot of that lately, and weirdly, most of the people I've lost recently are not from COVID, but there's been a lot of them. This was one of the very, very first. When I was very, very young, I had a dream about a friend of mine I'd known in college, not our college, a different one. And he was floating around. It was the strangest background and so forth. But he was floating around, and I thought in the middle of the dream, it suddenly became lucid, and I thought, Brian is dead. And I said, wait a minute. I think that this could actually be you telling me that you're okay. So tell me before I wake up, and I'll tell everybody. Tell me if I should believe it. And he reached over like this, and he touched me on the shoulder, and he said, believe it. It's really me, and I'm really okay. And you can tell everybody. But he was a guitar player and a songwriter, and so I did. I recorded this one. And I forgot about it, and then today I was in traffic, and I got behind somebody who was annoying me until I realized that his license plate said Brian, and I thought, I should play that song tonight. It was a great experience. I dreamed I saw Brian on an endless field of something that could have been stainless steel. I knew I was dreaming. That's the only way that anyone alive sees Brian these days. It was a good dream. We had a good talk in a place like a moonlit parking lot. I had left too much unsaid and I had never learned to pray, but somehow last night I think he heard me anyway. This morning I saw someone driving careless on the road. Someone who's damn lucky, I wonder if he knows. I heard someone singing and a very young laugh. A day among the living after Brian came back. He floated like a paper doll with hardly any weight, but still I recognized him. Brian is always 28, and I could no more touch him than I could a ray of light. But I finally got to say goodbye to Brian last night. I dreamed I saw Brian.
I have never heard that song before. That is wonderful.
Thank you. It was a wonderful event. It's happened with a bunch of people, and it always feels like, well, nobody knows what happens.
Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Everybody finds out, though.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I wanted to do a song that I wrote about 26, 27 years ago. Because I've got those now. I didn't used to. Used to be I didn't have any songs that I'd written 27 years ago because I was 27. This one I wrote when I was 35. And I thought it was wise when I wrote it, but I think it's wiser now. I think it's when I play this song now, I think of the young people and how excited they are for change and how vigorously they will work in much the same way that a lot of people worked when we were that age. And what I want to say is keep your courage up. Keep your courage up. Because what I think you learn through a life, and it's not always true, and you always think that it's going to be different, is that the kind of evolution that is needed in our society happens fairly glacially. But it needs people pushing at it all the time. So that kind of energy needs to continue. I'm speaking to my own kids here, I guess. So when I was 35, I wrote this song called The Wheel. It goes like this. All my neuroses are shining at 35. Must be some chemical thing. Still adjusting to the fact that I'm still alive. That number sure got a ring. Wide road, wide turns, lined by fences and fields. Turn now, turn back. Aren't those your hands on the wheel?
mother still smokes the same brand of cigarettes she did when I was in school. And yes, she still looks good when she's holding one. She's not too old to be cool. I guess I do dwell a lot on longevity. My father died premature. Right now my daughter's out there dancing to Graceland. Her movement seems so secure. Wide road, wide turns, lined by fences and fields. Turn now, turn back, aren't those your hands on the wheel? My friends are starting to use words like midlife. That scares the shit out of me. It's also frightening that a quarter of my time was spent in front of the TV. I guess I figured on a little more wisdom and fewer shots to the heart. We'd have this good green world back together now. Why is it still breaking apart? Wide road, wide turns, lined by fences and fields. Turn now, turn back, aren't those your hands on the wheel? Yeah. Wide road, wide turns, lined by fences and fields. Turn now, turn back, aren't those your hands on the wheel? Yeah.
I love that song.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have heard that one. I just love it.
Yeah, it's from back there.
Bill,
Yes.
how long are we going tonight?
I don't know. 11, 12, you know. Till the parking lot's empty. So, I don't know. I figured, 9-ish. I don't know. Doesn't have to be. We can keep going if you want.
Nine-ish is plenty, I think.
Okay.
But then, on the other hand, it is the hand's birthday.
It is. It probably should be the hand who makes the call, but one of the things that needs to be acknowledged is that the hand is in there right now and has been in there curating the Facebook feed and responding to all the comments. And I watched her do, because when this ends, I run in there and this is still going on Facebook and she's still in there just typing. She's typing every week. This is like the workout of her week. It's for her, for her hands. The hand is in there typing as fast as anybody I've ever seen type.
Well, she types at warp speed, though.
She does type at a warp speed, and she's trying to keep up with all the comments. She wants to say something to everybody. She wants to make sure everybody's happy and having a great time. So she seldom gets to relax and enjoy the show. But she will watch it with me after it's all over when I'm responding to all the comments and stuff like that. She'll watch it afterwards. And then I try to post these things up on YouTube within 24 hours or so of the performance time. They're up there on my YouTube page. I may do a little creative editing on this one. I don't know.
Please?
Well, see, so that may take a little bit longer than usual, but not to worry. It'll be up there at some point. So,
Well,
with that being said,
good to know. Diane, you're wonderful.
indeed,
Thank you
she
for being
is.
born. So, I also want to thank, before I forget, the Vashon Bookshop. I seem to be tethered here. The Vashon Bookshop, which is a glorious place, and thank you to Nancy, Lori, Shireen, everybody. It's marvelous. And it is open on a few hours. They've got the protocols in place and that sort of thing. But you can go to bookshop.org and order something from them. I just love this place. I decided that I was going to try, and emphasis on try, to finally work up a song that Diane has always liked a lot. And it's really hard to do. This is written by, I pick for the best songwriter ever on the planet, if I had to pick one, and which is really not easy to do. But this was written by Michael Peter Smith from Chicago, Illinois, who I got to work with and I got to know really well, and I loved very much. He is, in fact, one of the people that left us fairly recently. Cancer. Damn it. He wrote the most beautiful songs. He wrote The Dutchman, he wrote Spoon River. He wrote songs that brought us closer to understanding what was really important about being human, and then he wrote other stuff. He had a friend, the friend's name, I had heard the whole name, but I don't remember the last name. His name is Howie, and he was famous, but not here. So, this is a song written by Michael Peter Smith. One of his last wishes to the world was, if people play my songs, get them to play the right chords. Playing Dadgad, I did my best. I did my absolute best. It was bitch, but it was worth it, Michael. Anyway, I'm playing this for Diane. This is called Famous in France. If there are any French people watching, I'm really, really sorry. Friend who is famous in France, though he's not quite that well known over here. It's hard to explain what he does there in France, but it certainly keeps him in beer. When he walks down the street they call Champs-Élysées, all the folks treat him like he's Maurice Chevalier. When he goes to a bar, he gets free Cabernet. It pays to be famous in France. Famous in France, well then, French fries are free, or snails, or Dijon, as you prefer. And French kisses, of course, happen so constantly, soon your tongue can't pronounce ends of words. Yellow subtitles under each thing you say. They'll put you on stamps dressed up in funny ways. A toga, a spear, a Gauloise, a beret. What the hey, you are famous in France. Everybody. Lovely. When you go down to Cannes for the movie preview, and it's Arnold, Sylvester, Jerry Lewis, Camus, Gerard Depardieu, Roger Ebert, Brigitte Bardot, and you, that's a clue that you're famous in France. When my friend's life is over, they'll play Marseillaise and have Eartha Kitt sing C'est si bon. Inspector Clouseau will trip into the grave, and there'll be puppets with Leslie Caron. Catherine Deneuve and Eric Satie will be is shot by Claudine Langer accidentally. They'll sing Cherchez la femme, au revoir, cher Howie. Ah, tragique, they'll say. Dominique, they'll sing C'est la vie, mon ami. Have some brie, he was famous in France. Ah, Fifi, il est fini, le fromage grand de Paris. Who is he? Who is he? Don't ask me, for you see, he was famous in France. See, famous in France.
I love that.
I wouldn't have done that for anybody but Diane Schulstead. It's hard to do that.
I believe you. It looked hard. Thank you so much. I am sure she is in absolutely exultant state right now. Because I know how much she loves that song.
Oh, it's a great song.
Yeah.
From the amazing Michael Smith.
Well, I think we should each do two more and then be done. Can we say that? Can we say two more each?
You know what, Bill? I think I got one more in me.
Got one more
To
in.
be perfectly honest with you.
Wait! Another bulletin from the front. Little far. There you go.
But you should definitely do two more.
You know, she still smells good. I mean, the hand. It still smells good. Another handmade message.
Delightful.
Absolutely. All right. Well, how about we each do one more then? So I wanted it to begin and end with you because I know that Diane would like it that way. So why don't I do this one and then you do one and then that'll be it. Or do you want it,
That would be wonderful, I
Great.
think.
Okay.
It feels
It's
like
a deal.
Feels like a
But
good
first, kids, gather around the ICU2 TV set. We do have a few birthdays to announce today that are not the hand. The hand's birthday was actually yesterday, for those of you keeping score at home. But it is a long-standing Treehouse tradition to mention the upcoming birthdays from this week, beginning with today's birthdays, which include the infamous and legendary Brad Stenberg is having a birthday today. Happy birthday, Brad. Anne Phelan also having a birthday today. Happy birthday to Anne. Tomorrow, we have Leah Kaufman having a birthday, and also a poet of note, David Fuster of Tacoma fame, is having a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to both of those people. On Thursday, Mr. Clint Strand, who I used to work with at KOZI Radio Lakeland, and he was actually a co-host of the Lakeside Lounge for a while with yours truly, and was a sportscaster, newscaster, entertaining guy. He's also the keeper of Uncle Gib, my old Gibson J30 guitar. I gave it to Clint on long-term loan because I was no longer playing it and it needed to be played. On Friday, Mr. Mark Kenny, who may be in the house even as we speak. I don't know, I can't see the feed. But Mark Kenny is having a birthday on Friday. On Saturday, we have Lynn Stewart, an old Fox Island friend of mine, is having a birthday on Saturday, along with Eva Tree, local singer-songwriter of some repute and note, and wonderment and wonderfulness, is having a birthday on Saturday as well. On Sunday, Mr. Harry Burke of Swinging 60s show fame, who broadcasts his show from Ireland every week. Then on Monday, Catherine Chick is having a birthday, and an old school bus driver friend of mine, Don Nolan, is having her birthday on Monday. So there you have your birthdays. All right. Did you have any birthdays to add, Kat? Other than the hands?
So many.
I
and
know.
I was surprised to find out so many of them just today and yesterday, and now it's all a blank to me. I should have made notes. I know that you do this.
Yes, I do make notes. I have tried to do it. I tried to wing it before, and it just didn't. As I've learned, as the older I get, the more notes I make, and then I forget where I put the notes. Or I'll read the note and I'll say, what did I mean by that? What was that supposed to be about? What was that about? And I'm like asking, and there's nobody standing there. I'm asking questions of no one, which is another one of the fun things about being a little bit older.
Yeah, notice that. Notice that. Me too.
But more notes, certainly. Sorry. Sometimes I have to prove that I've actually got it. As close to being in tune. As I can get it. Hi there. I'm going to play my favorite song about Diane so far. Still constructing new ones, which is I'm very, very happy to say. And I got to tell you, you and Kat will attest to this too. You live with the love of your life. Isolation has a whole other kind of part to it, and it makes it formative. You know, you can get things done. You can do some quality thinking because you're constantly involved in quality talking with the person that you want to talk to the most, the person whose ideas and inspirations and things that you've learned to trust. You take them in. You take them in so many ways, on so many levels, each and every day, and they just enrich your life to no end. Make a lot of things seem possible, like this song. Diane and I went and saw Open the Door for Three, who is a Celtic trio, and at the Finney Neighborhood Center. And it was, I came out of there, I was just... bouncing, playing. They played all these murder ballads, but they were just so jaunty, you know. Just kind of, wow, all these great rhythms and stuff like that. So I had this rhythm in my body, and I had to get it out. I put it in here. It's called "Will You Come Away." And will you come away with me, oh Diane, my darling? And will you come away with me to lie on the verge of the salty sea, and to know it's where we're meant to be, oh Diane, my darling? And shall I wear a suit of black, oh Diane, my darling? And shall I wear a suit of black to walk with the friends who won't come back, and to finally make my peace with that, oh Diane, my darling? And will they dig a proper grave, oh Diane, my darling? And will they dig a proper grave near to the drum of the breaking wave? And will the grandkids all behave, oh Diane, my darling? And will they sing a song I wrote, oh Diane, my darling? Will they sing a song I wrote they found in the pocket of a threadbare coat, and then fold it up into a paper boat, oh Diane, my darling? And will they shed a grateful tear, oh Diane, my darling? And will they shed a grateful tear for the rough old sea that brought us here, and then raise a glass to the coming year, oh Diane, my darling? And will you come away with me, oh Diane, my darling? And will you come away with me to lie on the verge of the salty sea, and to know it's where we're meant to be, oh Diane, my darling?
I love that. Bill, it's hard for you to get through that sometimes, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
You softy. I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Open the door for 3. They're all friends of mine from Chicago, you know.
Oh, cool.
Guys, Pat,
Well, yeah, it was your recommendation, I think, that turned us on to him, wasn't it?
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a concert with them over here. Pat Broaders, I was in a band with him for about 1.5 years. It was, it was endless fun.
Yeah.
Kieran O'Hare and Liz Knowles. Oh my God, unstoppable stuff. I have been trying to decide whether I could actually play shit. I can't do it. I just don't have it in me today. I wrote some extra words to it, and now if I haven't gone over those in the past couple of weeks, then I can't pull it out of whatever fundament it lives in at the moment.
Well, let me just interject momentarily. For Henry's benefit, I've already used the word twice in 2 different songs tonight. So,
Awesome.
Henry, hang in there, buddy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. This will happen again.
thanks for the request. Okay, I'm gonna just end it. First of all, I love you guys. Thank you for doing this. This was an absolute delight. Sorry for the technical issues at the very beginning. Thank you to the Fashion Bookshop. Thank you to my beloved spouse, John Daly, for the poem, as well as everything else. I think what I want to end with is Africa. It's another song from the Cyclone Line. Dad had an imagination that was daunting sometimes. But it helped him when he was a kid. And one day he said, you know, what did I know about the Dust Bowl? I spent most of my days in Africa anyway. And so, since he'd never actually physically been to Africa, I kind of knew what he meant, but I asked him about it, and he pretended he was Tarzan or a character named Captain Easy, who was a character in the Denver Post comic strip. Somebody that was capable of doing great and glorious deeds somehow gracefully. So I imagine him talking to his youngest sister. He was the oldest of 6 kids. I imagine him talking to Barbara, his favorite, the one that he could talk to, you know, endlessly. And he took care of her, you know. So, Africa. I spend my days in Africa. I'm home in time for dinner. Sometimes Spain or India. Africa is better. All you other kids, you only dream of California. I see elephants and lions here in Oklahoma. And if you get all your homework done and you promise not to bug me, then when I go to Africa, I might take you with me. Yesterday in Africa, I rescued an explorer. I swung from vines and just in time pulled him from the water. Mom and Dad talk of nothing but this Great Depression. I I don't understand it. I just wish I could do something. And back here on the farm, I'm just another dusty scarecrow. But yesterday in Africa, I was someone's hero. You can see Africa from your bedroom window. There's big giraffes by Granddad's ranch and hyenas in the hollow. With a little practice, you can close your eyes to see it. These days you never know just when you're gonna need it. So even when the sky turns black and everyone takes cover, we can go to Africa until the storm is over. That I am old enough to go out with a rifle. Dad says I am good enough to bring food to the table. I guess this dust must be the only crop we're growing. And it's hard to see the jungle when this dirty wind is blowing. And now that there is nothing left, I guess we'll all be leaving. But we can still have Africa wherever we are going. I spend my days in Africa.
Kat, I thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, Bill.
It has been wonderful.
It really has.
Yeah. And like I told everybody, this will be up on YouTube at some point here in the next 24 to 48 hours, let's say. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yes.
Lovely.
And this will not be the last time we do this kind of thing. And but next time, Kat, I will do my end differently because I think we could have worked a lot of the bugs out before we even started if I had done something different. So I'm going to take responsibility for not clearing up the technical issues before we went on the air. Okay? So when we do this next time.
Well, that is completely unnecessary on your part. Thank you very much anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
But I should have been a better host. I just wasn't thinking. Because that's a hobby of mine now, the not thinking thing. Oh, okay.
You're a big liar. Yeah. You love to think. You're a big thinker.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Catherine. We will talk to you soon.
Yes,
everybody
please.
Out there, keep taking care of each other and keep positive. We'll be back on election night with the Treehouse Concert number 28. Hope to see you then.